Hello, everyone. So we are officially live today. Happy Thursday, the last Thursday of the second month of the year.
It's my mom's birthday.
Oh, well, Gloria, well, my wife and also part of the team, her birthday is on the 28th in 3 days. So I have a lot of pressure right now, by that way.
You're
So
right.
for the people who just is the first time looking at us live, either Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. My name is Edwin Rivera with the Millennium Realtors. We help everyone here in Southern California either buy or sell a house. And today we have a special guest speaker, Juan Castro. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. Juan Castro, Chicago Title. We are a publicly traded company and one of the largest in the country.
Wow. I
Yeah.
think the largest one.
Yeah, we do a lot of business.
So anytime I have any question about title, either for new clients, past clients, because a lot of past clients, they do have a lot of
a
questions.
lot of questions.
He's my source. So thanks to him, I'm able to provide all the answers to my clients. Thank you so much for everything.
Of course.
Juan, okay, so today's subject, and by the way, if you're looking to buy a house in the next year or two, watch this video. Now, if you own a house, you also need to watch this video because we will let you know what is the best way to own a house and what is the best way to have title on
Correct.
the house, right?
Yep.
Perfect. So we're gonna give a lot of info. Any questions you have, feel free to drop it on the chat. Please don't forget to give us a like, say hi, and let us know where you're watching from.
Yep.
Okay. So I have your notes on my phone. I know you have your papers.
Yes, sir.
So the question is, when you're buying a house or when you own a house, what is the best way to have title? Like own the house as title because it can be by yourself. You might have a spouse. You might own the house with your brothers and sister, or you might want to leave it to your kids. It's a good idea to pass the property to the kids right now that you are alive, or wait for a trust or something else. So we're gonna
Correct.
go dive in uh, on that subject specifically. So let's talk about how to own a house
Correct.
first.
Okay.
And what are the benefit of each. Like if you're a solo person,
Right.
you're not married, you're buying the home by yourself. What is the best way, or what is the only way to have title and benefits? What are the cons that what?
So, as Edwin says, you're going to take title when you purchase, and when you're holding title, there's obviously like a lot of the thoughts and process that you just had are a lot of the things that a lot of people have concerns about, interests, and so we'll try to see if we could help you guys out. But this one specifically, we're going right now as a purchase.
Yes.
Someone's going to come in and buy. Interesting about real estate and way you buy is you could buy by yourself, you could buy with someone else, you could buy with 10 people.
Oh, wow.
So it's not limited to how you take title. Okay. Now there's different ways to hold title, and there's 8 different ways to hold title.
Okay, 8 different ways.
8 different ways.
And I guarantee you, most people think it's only 1 or 2 ways.
Yeah, and before we even tell you which one's best would be your conversation with potentially. I would recommend your CPA be number 1, and number 2, Edwin, because I think they're going to be able to kind of guide you from the history that they've done, what other people have done, and then at the same time tell you to take that step to potentially speak to a CPA who could give you ultimately what's best for your situation.
Exactly.
Because everybody's situation is unique and it's common, but we need to know what your main focus is, main purpose of taking title, and then we can decide.
Okay, I have a quick question
Sure.
before we jump in. If someone already own a house,
Yes.
can they change title to a different type of? And what I mean change title, it doesn't mean you have to change the name, but the way you hold title of the property. Is that possible?
Yes. Yes. So if you hold title, let's just say right now as tenants in common, you could then say, I want to change it to joint tenants.
Okay.
And I could want to change it into a trust, or I want to put it into an LLC. So you could change the title. And here's where we have a little disclaimer. All changes could potentially reassess. We'll talk about that later, but there could be some tax triggers, one being your property taxes, one being the capital gains. So when you change title, it's not just as easy as saying, aquí te lo doy, or here I give it to you.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more complicated once you're done. That's why talking to a CPA, telling them what you're doing, he's going to say, these are scenarios that may present themselves by doing that change.
Okay, perfect. So the first way of owning title is sole ownership. That means
Sole ownership,
there's one person on title.
right?
Okay. It is no one else on title.
Correct. And you could hold it as a single person, correct?
Okay.
What if you're married, Edwin? Do you
Uh,
think you could hold it as a sole person?
I don't think so. To my knowledge,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Interesting. You could hold it as a one-person married person
Okay, but without adding the person.
without adding the spouse.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
there you go. So maybe the question. So if me, go ahead and explain that one because you know it.
Okay, perfect. So if you marry, but only the husband, as an example, is buying the house, he's working, and he's going to be the only one on title. Yeah, you can own the property as a sole ownership.
Correct.
Okay.
So you'd be Edwin Rivera, a married man, sole and separate.
Okay, yes, that is correct. Now, the benefits and the cons, benefit is, like liability reasons. If something, like, for example, your wife or your kids or someone else is not on title, if something happened with them, like a car accident, because they don't own a house, usually, and again, you have to speak to a lawyer about it. Usually, they cannot go against you on property because they're not on title, right?
Correct. Correct. And you're talking about a lien assert?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. So you have a husband and wife. It's still community property, but the fact that they got insured at the time they bought it, he really now has full control.
Okay.
Okay. And if there's a lien that comes up against the spouse, if she never owned it, it's going to be one of those things. But the scenario would be case by case. But there's a chance that it might not affect the property.
That's good. Perfect. Now, on that side, the cons is that if something happened to you, you pass away. Hopefully, that never happened.
Right.
It will happen, but
It
hopefully it happens when you're like 80, 90. But if it happens, and a lot of people don't plan for that, is that people think, oh, I'm married, the property will go to my wife.
What a great point.
Instead of something different.
Correct.
But that's incorrect.
That's incorrect. The fact, remember, in this scenario that we talked about, is a married couple, but the spouse bought it as a married person, sole and separate. Because he's a sole person on title, as you mentioned, if there is a deceased, or even if he's incapable to make that decision, he will have to, the death, it would have to be administered as probate.
Probate. Okay, so we're going to use this word a lot, probate. What exactly is probate? Probate, what it means if when someone passes away, if you don't have a trust, or you don't have it as a joint tenants as an example, meaning going to the second person on title, instead of the next person marry, or if you have kids, of then saying, hey, I'm the next person that will be able to get the property has to go to probate. That means it has to go to court, and the court has to make some decisions about the property. And keep in mind, it's not free. It's going to be more expenses on that.
It is. And you're looking around somewhere between 10 to 30% of the equity as a cost of operation for that. And in that same scenario, husband bought it or spouse bought it, sole and separate, doesn't have a trust, he passes. Just because they're married, it will not go to the wife.
Wow. So it's going to go to the trust. No, it's going to go to probate. It's going to go to court, more expenses.
Yes.
Okay. So if you own a house as a sole ownership, you have kids, you have spouse, the best thing to do at that moment, I think, will be opening a trust. I think that will be the number one thing. Do not add your wife, do not add your kids. And the reason why, because probably your property taxes will increase. If you have a mortgage payment that is include your property taxes, your mortgage payment will increase. So if you do it through a trust, it won't happen.
Correct. And the trust has a lot of benefits. So one of them is avoiding the probate.
Yeah.
And that is, and then not only avoiding probate, but also having a say of who gets your property or who becomes the beneficiaries. So that also is in there as well. So the trust becomes the entity that holds the title. The trustee of the trust, which is usually the person that owns it, is now the manager of the trust, and he still owns it, but it's in the name of the trust.
And we need a full class, a full video, a full
On just
podcast
trust.
on this. It's a
Yeah.
big subject, by the way.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
So the next way to own property is community property, right?
Correct.
When it's a married couple, and again, this is what we're talking scenarios in the state of California only. So community property. what are the pros? What are the cons when someone is married and they do it like this?
So some of the pros are that being a community property, you could actually designate who you want to have your 50%.
Okay.
So if you were married, had two marriages, and this wants to go to someone else, you hold it as community property, and you have the right to designate, even sell it while they're alive, that portion.
Okay. So husband and wife, they're married, but for some reason, the wife wants to leave her portion to the pool guy.
Yeah.
They can do it through community property, by the way.
Lucky pool guy.
I know. Wonder why. No.
Sparkling water, sparkling pool. That's why.
Yeah. No, but well, there's a 50% chance of divorces in the state of California.
It's high.
So it's a lot of couples that remarry. They do have their own kids before the marriage. So it's a good way if you have young kids. If something happened to you, you want your portion to go straight to the people you assign instead of the other person on title.
Great point. And just the other day, I had a husband and wife on joint tenants, and the spouse says, "Hey, I spoke to my husband. I don't want to pay for a trust; it's too expensive. But I want to add. I want to give it to my daughter." So we took a couple steps, and we'll go about it. But there's other scenarios that can be done besides the trust. But I got to tell you, being entitled for the 37 years, if you want peace of mind for everybody at home, the trust is the best way to go.
Trust. Okay. Any cons that you see
On the community property?
other than leaving the portion to the pool guy?
Yeah. Oh, here's a negative. If you leave the portion to the pool guy and the remaining spouse now are partners.
Oh.
So
I see.
you can see the con there.
I can see that. I don't think that will be a pretty scenario,
No.
by the way.
The pool man's out.
Yeah. Okay. This one, then, I don't know if it's the same. It's community property with the right of survivorship.
Got it.
What is the difference?
So the difference is that the other one, how you could designate where you want the property to go. This one, if the spouse passes, it automatically goes to the remaining spouse, like a joint tenancy.
Okay.
Yep.
So now we go to kind of joint tenants a little bit. Then why don't just do it as a joint tenant since the beginning?
Great question. Majority of the people go joint tenancy. It's a natural way for most people to hold. I think when you look at the community property right of survivorship, an expert may tell you, and this is where it may be beyond my pay schedule, a CPA will tell you there may be some more benefits when you have the property in community property than you would as a joint tenancy. And it has something to do with a step-up tax basis potentially.
Oh, okay. I see that.
Because
Joint tenants, you don't have step-up taxes?
right,
or-
you do not. Not when the property transferred to the other spouse.
Okay. I see that.
So
But
that's a
neat to me.
CPA thing, but that's why when you're taking title, it's a good idea to talk to your CPA and ask them, hey, this is
Okay.
what I'm doing.
Now, going back to community property with the right of survivorship. Husband and wife are in the title.
Correct.
One of them passed away. Okay. Technically, the portion goes to the other person.
Correct.
Does that mean it goes to probate? It goes to court, the portion of the person who passed away.
No probate.
Huh?
No probate.
No probate.
So the word right of survivorship means that the spouse that survives gets the whole property.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yep.
And you mentioned something about tax benefits. Okay, what he means, hopefully
Yeah,
I'm not
please.
wrong.
Yeah.
What he means by tax benefits. So let's say if you bought the home for $200,000, okay, in 1990s, now the home is worth $1 million, and it happened in a lot of cities, by the way. So technically, I believe the step-up basis, what it means is that the moment the other person passes away, automatically the property can go up on the
Be sold at the price at the time that the person died
yes
at the $1 million, and the 200 to $1 million becomes free.
free. So you don't
Tax-free.
have to pay taxes. So
Not on that money.
because the person passed away, they say, you know what, the house is too big for me. I'm gonna sell the home.
Correct.
They don't pay property gain taxes.
Not at the date of death, is it's equal to the time. Now,
Okay.
if they actually say that she dies, it's $1 million, but the kids wait 2 years, and now it's worth 1.2,
Then they
pay
from that
taxes
200
on the 200,000.
Okay. And joint tenants, you don't. So if you buy the home at 200,000, husband passed away, and then the wife want to sell the house, the property is worth 1 million. So technically, you have 800,000 of property gain, right? Of equity. You can
Yeah,
say
you
that.
do, you do, and I think this is where the professional CPA, to be honest with you, is going to give you the reasons why a joint tenancy and tenants is prevalent.
Okay.
depending on the situation for each and everybody.
Now, community property, can friends, brothers can do as community property, or only husband and wife?
Only husband and wife.
Okay.
And when we do friends, we go tenants in common.
Tenants in common. We're gonna go to that one really soon. Okay, but joint tenants is kind of common as married couple.
It's the
Okay,
preferred way of holding
friends,
title.
Siblings, parents
Pool
and
man.
kids.
The pool man and yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. So a joint tenancy could be one person, one and two people. They could be married individuals. They could be domestic partners. You could have 10 people, all as joint tenants.
Okay.
Okay. So it could be even Edwin and Gloria, husband and wife, and Juan Castro, a single person, all as joint tenants.
Okay.
So there's a variety of different ways you could do it. So this is where you get to speak to myself and yourself, and we could kind of give them an idea what it.
On that one, everyone is equally homeowner, like it's same percentage. If it's mean 4 people is on title, everyone owns 25%,
The
right?
presumption is that. But if you husband and wife own a title, and then me as individual, like I mentioned, you're 50, I'm 50.
Oh, that's new to me.
Yes. The only time you could actually say proportional is tenants in common.
So that's the different way of owning title.
That is exactly right.
Okay.
That's a good
And-
point. Some people do decide to hold joint tenancy and go, you're 80%, I'm 20%,
Oh, I see that.
right? You could say that, but most people don't. You said it right. It's equal portion. But when it's husband and wife, they're considered one.
Oh, I see that. Oh, that's new to me.
Yep.
Now, in one of them pass away, you're able to avoid probate as well.
Joint tenancy, like community property right of survivorship, even though it doesn't say right of survivorship, it has it built in.
Oh, okay.
So joint tenancy has right of survivorship, which you tell the spouse, remaining friend, remaining domestic partner, they're going to get the property without probate.
Perfect.
Yes.
Now, this is something important. A lot of people, okay, let's do joint tenants, husband and wife. But what happens if it's an accident and both pass away? Then now it's go to probate.
Well said. God forbid something like that happen, but yes, it will go to probate if they both simultaneously pass.
Pass away. So the best way sometimes to hold title is after you buy the home is open a trust.
Let's
Okay.
ask our guest a question.
Yes, go for it.
What percentage do you think of owners own their property in a trust? The most, probably recommended way of holding it, but what percentage of owners do you believe hold properties in a trust?
Let's see the answers. Don't give me the answer
Okay.
yet.
All
We're
right.
gonna
We'll do it at the end.
By the end, we're gonna tell them.
let's
Okay.
go.
So, and for some reason I think the number will be super low. I don't know why. Okay, tenants in common.
Tenants.
Okay, that's another way of owning title.
Yes.
We already talked like 4 different ways.
Yeah,
What is the
well-
benefit of that one?
So the benefit of that one is you own that portion of interest, and you have the ability to decide where it goes. You could be partners with somebody on title, but he doesn't have interest in your property. So we have independent interests of the property.
Okay, now
Percentages.
let's say I'm buying the house. You're a friend. I'm putting, I don't know, most of the money, and you're gonna put like, I don't know, 10% of that.
Right.
On tenants in common, can I say, hey, I'm 90% owner and you only 10% owner?
You sure can.
Oh, so you're able, it's not 50-50,
No.
you're able to kind of divide it on the percentage that you want.
Yes, and let's throw something at you. If there is nothing mentioned and there's 3 people, what do we assume?
35, no?
You got it. Absolutely.
Oh,
So-
okay. Unless it's mentioned.
Unless it's mentioned. So if it's not mentioned, tenants in common, however many people there is, it's proportional to everybody that way.
Oh, okay.
So
I
if there's
see that.
5, proportional, unless it's broken down.
Okay, and now something important because I've seen it, and it's not too common. But sometimes you see a house for sale in Long Beach for $300,000. I'm like, what? This home is worth $700,000.
Right.
You know that on tenants in common, you can sell your portion. Let's say you and I with owners and say, hey, you know what? We have a duplex that we had for the last 10 years. I want to sell my part. You say, you know what? I don't want to sell my part. It's beneficial. It's profitable every month. I can go and sell my part
You sure can.
without your permission.
That is correct.
So, but technically, can
You're-
you reject the sale or no?
no, you can't.
So technically, if I sell it, you're gonna have a new partner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Now, it's not automatic right of survivorship, right?
No.
So if I pass away,
Your portion with my interest will be going to probate.
Probate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. I may eventually be Juan Castro, tenants in common with an administrator of the estate.
Okay, I see that.
So
Perfect. And what are the ways they can, like have own a house on title?
so you have it individuals, soulways, domestic partners, community property. So those are the 8 ways. Can a child be on title?
Less than 18 years old?
Yes,
I don't think so.
they can, but they can't transfer real estate.
Oh,
So I could add my 5-year-old, but if I ever try to sell or refinance, that 5-year-old doesn't have the jurisdiction to sell that document or sign that document.
so how do you do it at that moment?
Okay,
In order
ready?
to get him out of title.
You got to go to court and get someone to appoint them as a conservatorship for that child.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So it's more paperwork.
More paperwork. So if you really want to give your child your property, what should we do?
Trust.
Absolutely. What do most people do though, Edwin? And this is where I think it gets really
This is the,
unfortunate for
okay,
people.
Latinos.
Latino.
Okay, biggest mistake I see on Latinos is like, the parents that they're like, oh, they own a house. And they're like, oh, if I pass away, I want to give it to my son.
Correct.
And that's the biggest mistake I see. What they do, they add them. Let's say the son is already or daughter is
Correct.
over 18.
Right.
They add them to title. And
What happened? I mean, keep going because I think this is interesting. That this
and I will
happens.
tell you why that's the biggest mistake.
Yes.
Okay. Number one, when you add them to title, you add them to the liability of the house, meaning it's someone in their 20s, they drive crazy, they might have a car accident, fight, anything, you name it. They're more prompt to have a lawsuit. Okay. If they have a lawsuit, remember, they also own a house.
They have an asset.
Exactly. They can go after that because you add them to title.
Yes.
That's number one. Number two, and I'm going to leave the worst last. Number two is that eventually they want to buy their own house.
That's a
You
good
know,
point. That's a
and
good
there's a
point.
lot of program. Like right now, is Dream for All. Right now it's
Yeah.
active. It's on the 20. By the way, on the 24 applications open. Okay, and it's gonna close on the 16th.
What program is it?
Dream for All.
All right. The Dreamful.
There's another one from Cal Half at My Home, but usually those are for some home buyers.
They can't even have a parent buy a home sometimes,
Yeah.
right?
So by you adding to title, even though technically it's not their house, but in paper they already own a house, so they might not qualify for a lot of programs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
And to me, the most important one is payment, because same example, you bought the home in 1990 for 200,000. Probably your property taxes annually is, I don't know, like 3,000 a year. That's what, less than $200-$300 a month.
And always vote no on Prop 13.
There you go. But by adding them to title, you open yourself to reassessment. So if the property is worth $1 million now, as an example, now the county can say, hey, you add someone to title, it's a change of ownership, we can reassess the property. So now they can go back and reassess the property, let's say $1 million now. Now your property taxes went up from, I don't know, 3,000 all the way
To
to
10.
11, 12,000. That's mean you're almost paying between $800 to $1,000 a month.
So you went
on
from
property
$300
taxes.
all the way to $800 to $1,000 more just by adding your child.
You child to the title. And to me,
Wow.
that's the biggest mistake that I see. I don't know if I'm correct.
No, absolutely. I think, and then not to get in the weeds, it gets even worse. What if they had other children? Why weren't they added on?
Yeah.
I mean, it could get, let's say the child gets married and they get a divorce. Now that spouse may be saying, that's my property too.
I want a portion of
I
it.
want a portion of that. So you could see, you're absolutely right. Latinos do not add your children on title.
Yes. Do a trust. A lot of people don't do it because, yeah, it costs money. I'm not going to lie. It's no, you don't do it with a real estate agent. You don't do it with a title company. You usually do it with an attorney, or paralegal. Depends what you want to choose.
Correct.
Use an attorney better.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to throw another one at you. Do you know there's a way that you could transfer title to your children, but you can't transfer without a trust?
Tenants in common? No, community property? No.
The children never on title. It doesn't reassess it, and it doesn't change your capital gains or your tax.
You got my attention.
I'm gonna give you that one at the end. We'll save it for these people. Or you want it now?
Go for it. Go
All right.
now.
So, a couple years ago, the state of California came up with maybe trusts are too expensive. Maybe that's why people don't get them. So they actually considered and passed a document called a TOD, Transfer on Death Deed, TODD.
Okay.
So a transfer on death deed does this. I'll give you my example. My daughter owns a home. She doesn't have that much assets. To get a trust, I thought it was too expensive. So I said, why don't we do a TOD? A TOD allows me to get a document and then just say that if something happens to my daughter, Juan could get it or my wife could get it, and it avoids probate.
Probate. Oh, wow. Does that document has to be recorded? Or
Yes.
they just sign it, notarize?
Sign and record it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And I'll give you a little caveat, and we'll just talk about it. If you actually get a TOD, and let's say, for example, I'm in the hospital, and you get me to sign a TOD, and the next day I pass, title company is going to question it. Because we want to know what was their competency, et cetera, et cetera.
I see that.
So if you do this, like in my case, my daughter's 29, we don't plan on anything happening to her, but since it's already a record, a year goes by, it's okay. It's acceptable in essence for underwriting purposes. But
To me, that's new.
it is, and I just the other day I did it for a client of mine, and I didn't do the document, but I explained to her what to do, and she did it.
So how long ago they passed this new law?
We'll Google it, but I want to say about 5 years.
Okay, that's new. Like I told that.
Right.
A lot of the real estate industry agents, they probably don't know this.
No,
Like-
and they're not familiar with it. They're
Yeah.
not familiar with it. Yeah, so it's called a TOD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty
Perfect.
interesting.
So that's it.
And we have the documentation for
Okay.
all that, so they need.
So if you want more, and again, if you guys want more information regarding any of this way how to take title, if you guys want a Zoom meeting, if you already own a house,
Yeah.
you want a Zoom meeting, you know that Juan can do a health check
Yes.
for your title. If you have any liens, because a lot of people, and trust me, happen
Yeah.
quite some often. They ready to sell the house, and they know, and when we pull up, they call the prelim report. That's mean that's what happened on title, and they notice they have liens on the title that they were not aware of that.
That's correct. It happens.
So-
It happens. Even common names sometimes.
Yeah.
So it can happen. One of the things that, not to get off the record, but we're talking about recording documents. There's a lot of fraud out there, guys. And people are concerned about me grabbing a document, me looking at the existing grant deed, copying it, completing it, and walking down to the county recorders and recording it. The county recorders does not check other than is the document recorded. They're not checking your ID. In some cases they do, but most of the time they're just actually looking at the document team it's prepared. The county offers an e-notification. Have you heard those?
No.
So an e-notification is you go to the county website, you put your property address in there, and anything that records on the chain of title, they send you an email notification, alert you.
Oh,
So now any transfer, anybody trying to get a loan, any of that stuff that gets recorded, they used to send a piece of mail, but it took 2 months. By that
Yeah.
time, now they have this called the e-notification. LA County, Orange County, San Bernardino County, Riverside County. LA is the only one right now that's doing digital. But everybody else has been mandated by the state to get on board and do electronically.
okay. So now you know. That's new information.
Call us and we'll get that signed up for you.
Exactly.
Very
Okay.
simple.
If you own a house and you wanna check your title, how it is, just comment the word title on the comments. Make sure we contact you and we can do a health check
Yep.
for you. We can do a 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yep.
More than I don't think 10 minutes is
No.
is more than enough time.
And we
to-
can send them all the documents too.
That's what. Yeah, so they can get a copy.
Correct.
Completely free.
Completely
Don't
free.
charge them a penny.
Zero.
Okay, now we're about to end our show. The main question is regarding trust.
Right.
How many people own a home on a trust?
What percentage do you think have gone to see their trust attorney?
I would say 10 to 20%. I don't know why, but I think it's that low.
36%.
Okay, well, 36, that's mean 3 out of 10.
3.5 people have actually designated their property to whoever, their loved ones.
So that means 7 or 6 out of 10 homes will go to probate. Money for the lawyers,
Have you seen how?
money for the courts. So avoid that money.
Yeah.
And this is why,
Yeah.
pass that money to your family. Don't
Yeah.
give it to the attorneys for probate. Don't give it to the courts. Make sure you do a trust. It can be as low, from what I heard, like 1,000 up to 3,000, depending on the company and exactly all the details you want to add. But at least you know that when you pass away, siblings, they don't fight.
I was just going to say that money is one thing. You'll make your money back.
Yeah.
But too often, without that, now you have brothers and sisters no longer getting along.
Yeah.
Your Christmas and your Thanksgivings are no longer the same.
Exactly.
It's not good.
But that's a reality.
That is a reality.
Okay. So we're going to have Juan at least once a month giving us all the knowledge of title. So keep us on the loop.
Yep.
And remember, next Thursday, we're going to go in live again. If you want to see all the videos, you guys can go to YouTube. Just type Millennial Realtors and you can see all our past videos. And just to let you know, March 12th, we're going to have our last workshop for Dream for All with Luz Yuncor, where we're going to have an approval event at the same time. So if you want to apply for $150,000, you want to get information. But if you want to apply and get the pre-approval letter, make sure you register March 12th. Send us a message and we can send you all the details. Perfect. Thank
Good
you,
to see you.
Juan.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Appreciate it.